Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Nick again. Today's show is going to be about comparing three different guitars. A very expensive one and a couple student kind of guitars that are a little bit more budget priced and bargain priced. We're going to be looking at a Martin D28 Dreadnought steel string. We're going to be looking at an Epiphone PR200 steel string acoustic dreadnought. And we're going to be looking at a Terra student guitar nylon string, more of a classical type of guitar. To start off, let's take a look at the first guitar that I ever got when I was in 5th grade, and I still have it. It's still in pretty good shape. The Terra nylon string student classical guitar. This guitar costs about $70. It's kind of a student-sized body and it has nylon strings in it for a little bit different tone, for different style of music, or for ease of playing. You'll notice that the strings are made out of nylon, or they have a nylon core. It gives them a little less tension on the fingers and a little bit more of a mellow tone. Not bad. Let's strum a few chords on it. So this is a very cool guitar, very warm sounding, very mellow, very easy to play, very enjoyable, not too loud. Let's go take a look at the Epiphone. The Epiphone PR200 was about $110 that I bought from Guitar Center. This is a pretty good guitar. I've had this all over the place. I've traveled all over the world with it. It's got a lot of history to it, camping, traveling overseas, down to Argentina, all over the place. It's a really great guitar. I love the neck on it. This is very, very easy to play. This is a laminate body guitar, meaning that it's not solid wood. It's laminate, kind of like layers of wood together. Basically, this is a very, very nice guitar, but let's hear it first. So anyways, it's a pretty fun guitar. I've had this for a long time. I'm pretty comfortable playing with it. It's got a great neck on it. It's got a very nice thin neck. This is like one of the most enjoyable acoustic necks that I've ever had. So this is a great guitar for anybody, but before I go into recommendations, let's hear the Martin next. The Martin D28 is an icon. It's been used in countless recordings from the 50s, 60s, everywhere from Led Zeppelin to Johnny Cash to the Beatles. It's got a great tone to it, and this is probably my favorite out of all of my acoustic guitars. I use this one for all my performances, depending on what I need to do. If it's a mellower Spanish style jazzy thing, I might use the nylon string, or a different nylon string. Now comes the important part you've been waiting for, recommendations. If you're a young guitar player or somebody who doesn't have a lot of strength in their hands for whatever reason, I'd recommend a nylon string. The reason why I say that is because they're very mellow on your hands. It's a very nice light guitar. You don't have to do as much maintenance on it as you would some of the other guitars, and it's just a good sounding mellow guitar for lots of music that I think would be very, very enjoyable. The Epiphone Steel String is a great guitar for somebody either starting out or somebody who wants an extra guitar. It's a fantastic guitar, it plays really well. Pros and cons for a laminate guitar: they're cheaper, and they're perfectly fine for most people. The cons for a laminate guitar are because they're layers of wood glued together. After years of playing them, or sometimes after just months, depending on how long you play it, those glued layers start getting looser and looser, and what does that do? It affects the tone. It gets a little muddy sounding, it doesn't sound as good. So the older those guitars get, typically the worse and not as great sounding that they'll play. When you first buy them brand new, that's probably the best that they're ever going to sound. Martin D28 is my favorite. A lot of value to the guitar, highly respected. The fit and finish is fantastic. It's made very well in Nazareth, Pennsylvania. It's a great company. It's been around a long time. It's got a great, big, beefy tone to it. It's just very, very satisfying to play that. Who's that good for? Somebody who has a little bit extra money for it. They're not cheap. They're good for anybody who's going to be playing for a long time and wants a good, solid, perfect, high-end quality guitar. Professional touring musicians have them, and just hobby players that just play open mics. We'll have those sometimes too as well. So if you're doing some shopping during a holiday, sometimes you'll see these guitar kits where it'll have an acoustic guitar and a case and 1,000 different things for, sometimes they throw it in for free for the normal price of the guitar, so they sell them. Sometimes it's just a little bit more. I don't think kits are a terrible thing because you have to buy a lot of the stuff anyways at some point. And if you're a new guitar player just getting into it, it's kind of nice to have all that stuff in one spot. So if you have an acoustic guitar, you're definitely going to want to subscribe to the channel and check back, because very soon I'm going to be doing a show on humidity, dry air, and how it can really, really mess up your guitars, and give you some recommendation on humidifiers to them, how often you should humidify them, and tips on how to keep your guitar nice and happy and healthy during a dry holiday season or any time when it's in dry air. So that's my wrap up for today, my recommendations and my sound checks for both these things. 3 of these things. 3. Thanks. Let me know in the comments if you thought it was helpful. If there's anything else you'd like me to cover for sounds and different parts of them and recommendations, let me know. I'd appreciate it. Thanks for the support, and I'll talk to you guys sometime soon.